Winter is over, and if I take any longer to make this video, it's gonna be summer soon, so let's get this done quickly. Yeah, I'm gonna have to stop you right there. Hi, hello, it's me, Alan, from the future, and it's clearly not the spring or summer season anymore. To clear up any confusion while watching this video, there's something I need to talk about first. TLDR, 70% of this video, including voiceover, editing, and script writing, was all done during the spring season, so whenever talking about spring or anything that happens surrounding spring, I'm talking about it in a present tense. And while I did think about canceling the video, as I mentioned, I already did quite a lot of the work already, so to cancel it would be a huge waste of time. So yeah, there's an explanation on why I'm uploading a spring season's video when the summer season is just fully concluded. Anyways, back to the video. No, but seriously, what does one do when one of the best modern shonen, best girl, and what was supposed to be the climax of our generation's masterpiece come to an end? Let me tell you. Hello? Hi. Yeah, I was wondering if you have any your Forgers, because I'll take your entire stock. One of the only non-sequel anime worth a watch this season is Shikimori's Not Just a Cutie. And as the title implies, Shikimori's not just a cutie, she's also a badass who will literally save you from being isekai'd. And the one who isn't being isekai'd is Izumi, a soft-spoken good boy who was cursed with the absolute worst luck. Due to this, his life is problematic because he's constantly prone to falling or just having random things attack him. But even still, he considers himself to be the luckiest man alive as he's dating the aforementioned badass and sees her as his knight in shining armor. Besides denying Truckun yet another kill, episode 1 starts off a bit slow. They do the traditional going to school on the first day and seeing who's in whose class, but I think where it really picks up is when they start bowling. As you can imagine, Izumi's throws are god awful. Pitiful at the very best. Meanwhile, my girl Shikimori has amazing form and just nonchalantly bowls a perfect game. I also don't know where to put this, but I'm just gonna mention how the OP and ED are like really good. The OP's color palette looks absolutely stunning, and the ED gets my props for its creativity and having a sort of pseudo temple run type thing, which I think is really cool. Okay, now back to the main stuff. I've heard a few things float around about Shikimori ever since the manga dropped for it back in 2018. Mostly positive praise for it, and I'm glad to report that the anime doesn't disappoint. Yet again, we find ourselves looking at another good boy, good girl show. Unfortunately, if you're not a fan of this genre, this wouldn't be the one I'd recommend to change your mind. I would have done it last season. And I know there's quite a lot of these popping up recently. Hell, there's even 2 this season, but at this point, it's like the copium running through my veins. I just can't get enough of it. If you wanted a new cutie romance show with a girl who will show you the most intense love, this is probably up your alley. Sure, maybe the production value isn't on the same level as something like Dress Up Darling, but it's really cute, and if Dogo Kobo doesn't shut down again due to COVID, everything should go smoothly.
This is editing Alan here. They had to delay the show because of COVID.
Get it off my fucking screen! Kaguya is back. It's been 2 years since we've last seen Shuuchin Academy Student Council and their goofy, dumb antics. The president and Kaguya are still trying to beat each other in 4D chess. Ino now canonically listens to some weird affirmation ASMR. Hayasaka's too busy being best girl. Ishigami is now down bad for his club president. And Chika is, well, we'll just talk about that later. To be honest, there's not really much I can say about Kaguya that hasn't already been said. It's in its 3rd season now. The show started in 2019, which means if you've cared about Kaguya from any point since then, you're probably already watching the new season. Of course, the absolutely ludicrous tomfoolery is still fully intact, and I think my favorite episode so far has to be episode 4. Hayasaka becomes best boy by being a male Herthika who is gay in order to not blow her cover as Kaguya's servant when Chika comes over for a sleepover. Admittedly, that's already a little convoluted, but where it all goes wrong is when Chika FaceTimes the president by asking him who he likes. Of course, Kei just happens to be strolling by as this is happening, so when the president denies Chika's claims, she calls bullshit and says that the president is in love with somebody called Herthika, leading the only possible conclusion in Chika's head to be the fact that the president and Herthika are in a loving gay relationship, and the face that Chika makes pretty much says it all. And that's what I love about this show. Its comedy is so raw and just so crazy and out there, but it still works and makes me laugh every time. I fucking lost it when Chika made that face because I was making the exact same one and wondering how this author still hasn't run out of ideas yet. And I don't even read the manga, so I don't even know what to expect, only that it's gonna get better from here. Anyways, that's my gushing about Kaguya section over. TLDR, Kaguya is absolute fucking gold. Please watch season 3. That was supposed to be the end of my Kaguya section. Then episode 5 came out.
僕が白金くんのラップを聞くなんで
I agree with you. What the fuck is happening? I love rap. And I don't mean that in the traditional sense as if I listened to the new Kendrick album or anything, because I just didn't. I'm more talking about meme rap. People like Wonder, Moles, and MC Virgins, those types of guys. So much so, in fact, that I've had a mini stint as a SoundCloud rapper and have recently made 2 diss tracks just for fun, all of which you will never see on this channel. Why am I going on the music tangent, you ask? Because this episode is essentially just that, but also so much more. Ever since episode 4 of season 1, I always thought it'd be neat if this show ever got a rap episode. Finally, 3 seasons later, we get another episode of Chika teaching the president how to not be terrible at something, and it's probably the single best episode of anime we've gotten this entire season. And I don't want to spoil it too much because it's absolutely phenomenal, but some of the highlights include Chika dissing the hell out of the president, a spoof early 2000s music video, both of them randomly just saying for whatever reason, and even a reference to Bohemian Rhapsody. You can just tell there was a lot of love, care, and thought put into this episode. They absolutely nailed it. I promise I'm done now. Go watch this show. It is so good. Oh, and even the ending for the episode was crazy. Okay, here's the deal. Komi-san Part 1 came out in fall of 2021. That wasn't too long ago. Part 2 of the show continues a somewhat recent trend of anime splitting the first season into 2 parts and showing the second part a season or 2 later. I just said the word seasons and parts a lot? Oh god. Essentially, what I'm trying to say is that it hasn't been too long since the first part, and pretty much if you like the first part, you'll like the second. It's Komi, she can't really talk still, but oh my god! The show for spring 2022 is without a doubt Spy X Family. I'm really late to the party in this one, but just like hundreds and thousands of other people, I've been enamored by it and preached the gospel of Spy X Saturday. But I'm getting a little ahead of myself, much like Master Spy Twilight probably felt when he was assigned Operation STRIX, a mission in which to keep peaceful relations between the West and the East, he's required to get married and have a child. It's through this mission that he dons the name 𝘴𝘺𝘺, and where he then adopts the super adorable peanut-loving telepath child Anya, and where he also meets his equally as adorable but also killer assassin wife, Yor Briar. This seemingly impossible group of misfits becomes the cornerstone of our story, and honestly, what's there not to love? We've got some absolutely stellar animation being spearheaded by both Cloverworks and Wit Studio, and unsurprisingly, when you have some of the best in the business, the art quality is phenomenal. The color palette is vibrant and upbeat, the animation is consistently at a high standard, and regardless of what's happening on screen, be it Anya beating some ass, Lloyd beating some ass, or a drunk Yor trying to beat Lloyd's ass, you can bet your life savings that the animation is damn good. But don't even begin to think for a second that's where it ends, because in terms of voice acting, it's more stacked than the prime Chicago Bulls and the pile of clothes in the corner of my room. Lloyd and Yor, both voiced by Takeo Eguchi and Saori Hayami, who, if you're not familiar, voiced both Hachiman and Yukino and Origairu. These two have been voice acting together since 2013. That's 9 years. The chemistry was well apparent then, and it's still apparent now. And no pun intended, but they've now become the parents of Anya 𝘴𝘺𝘺, who's voiced by the lovely Atsumi Tanizaki. She also voiced Vivi in Vivi, which was my favorite show last year and was also animated by Wit Studio. I am dragging this on a tiny bit, but honestly, I was just really excited when they were revealed to be the main cast. I already knew them through their previous work and knew that they would absolutely smash it out of the park, which of course they ended up doing. They're all in their own way perfect for their roles, and it's only complemented by the soundtrack. Taking a page out of Cowboy Bebop's book comes another high-action anime with yet another brilliant jazz soundtrack. I am incredibly biased, as jazz is my second favorite genre, but I'm sure even you can tell it perfectly fits the feel of fictional city Berlin and its mid-90s Cold War espionage vibe. And the song that sets the tone for the soundtrack is of course the show's opening, Dan Dism's Mixed Nuts, or what I've been calling it when talking to my friends, that one song I found on repeat for 8 weeks that I literally can't turn off. Pure and simple, it bangs. It's easily within contention for not just best opening of the season, but also for the entire year. Energetic, vibrant, upbeat, whatever you want to call it, it works in perfect unison with not only the exaggerated parts of the opening, but also the more stylized parts as well. In a lot of ways, you can consider the anime for Spy X Family to be a perfect adaptation. One that very faithfully adapts the source material, but also one that enhances the overall experience of Spy X Family. Take the previously mentioned soundtrack, or what I think is the best example of this, the latter half of episode 5. After Anya finally gets into Eden Academy, Frankie suggests that Anya should get an award of some kind. Anya decides she wants to be rescued in a castle like a princess, so reluctantly, Lloyd does exactly that. They get to the castle, get some agents over, Lloyd does his epic big fight with Drunk Yor and eventually saves Princess Anya. Already, we have a pretty fun and unique sequence, but apparently that just wasn't enough, because in the anime, the events follow the exact same order, but this time they decided to add a few things. 8 minutes, here and there, of completely original anime exclusive content. What the fuck? I mean, just look at this. Plane flying, introductions, a quizzing section, an insert song, and Lloyd versing damn near every agent in Weiss. And if that still wasn't enough, they even extended the Yor fight, giving it some of the best sakuga in the entire show. It's honestly so impressive. These guys already had a nearly flawless show and still chose to push the envelope. Adapted exactly like it was in the manga, and not a single person would have batted an eye. If there was literally anything I could nitpick about the show, it's maybe the CG crowd sometimes, but even then it doesn't really matter because of how flawless the rest of the show is. It's truly a labor of love, being delivered by some immensely talented people that deserves all of its success. And so that's it. That's my take on the spring 2022 season. If you made it all the way here from the very beginning, then I offer you my thanks from the very bottom of my heart. Listening to some complete idiot ramble about cartoons for over 10 minutes has to be a skill in and of itself. Also, the irony is not lost on me for uploading a spring seasonals video while the summer is either wrapping up or has already ended. I'm genuinely not sure when I'm gonna post this video. If you enjoyed the video, that's great. You don't have to do anything. I'm just glad you liked it. But if you want to, stick around, because next time I'm becoming a tour guide, specifically showcasing the crimes, alleyways, cars, and streets of Night City. Thank you so much for watching, everyone, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace.